So around like 6 months ago, I literally deleted almost everything to get serious on this journey of memorizing the Quran, and I can honestly say it's been like one of the best decisions I've ever made. Because if you're like me, you probably grew up in a world where social media, the whole technology like sphere has been just like totally embedded within our lives to the point where you're seen as like weird if you don't have any of the apps or something like that. But the thing about my personality is when I see like I'm having fun with something, I really just won't stop it at all. So this kind of led to throughout my whole like teen years, my whole like adolescence, I was really just always on the video game, always on my phone, always on, some form of social media. And it just realized that I threw like hours and hours of my time. And now that I look back, it may have even been like years of my life onto just kind of pointless things. And then I started seeing other people pop up online who had similar problems, but were also making it a goal to like totally reduce it through just like making their technology environment extremely minimalist and really trying to detach from like the kind of modern stimulation that is really so embedded like within us. And you may have heard people in general around you say like, oh yeah, don't spend too much time on your phone, take a break from your phone, all this stuff. But this is especially true if you're like really trying to get close with the Quran, and especially true, if you're trying to memorize big portions of the Quran. Because when you think about it, like memorizing pages of the Quran is actually pretty tedious, pretty like, non-stimulating. So when you have like a device in your pocket that is like so much more stimulating that you can always just entertain your brain with, it's always going to be more tempting to do that over the memorizing. So we need to make it ideally so it's actually kind of like a level playing field. And this is why I've tried making a goal to make my whole tech setup really boring and really like non-stimulating, is because I don't want that distraction that I used to have when I was younger where like I just couldn't get off of it. If you think about it, the average person is probably spending around like 5 to 7 hours on their phone. Imagine if just like one of those hours was dedicated to like memorizing Quran. You would make so much progress, especially on like a longer time scale, than if you were just wasting all that time just feeding your mind kind of nonsense stuff. And just over the course of months, I started researching some apps I could download, some things I could do to my phone, some extensions I could put on my laptop to slowly make it so I'm like relying on them less. I'm less like pulled towards them. And just like that, alhamdulillah, I've gained a lot more time back, I would say, just in my day-to-day tasks. And I made a video before on how to make your phone way less addicting, on top of also deleting all the social media apps on it. But I also learned some new techniques, some new stuff that you can get now, especially for your laptop, that can make it so you're actually saving away more time and you're like using your time a little bit more intentionally. And I'll show you how to do that real quick. The thing that always kind of held me onto the internet was YouTube. I deleted like all social media for the most part, but the only thing I still kind of consumed was YouTube because I found that there was actually some benefit to it. But then the thing is, I would kind of get into this cycle where just because I saw one beneficial video, it would lead me down a whole like spiral of keep watching. And then again, you kind of go back into that social media problem where you end up like losing hours of your day. But the cool thing is that a lot of people have created and published Chrome extensions that actually help with this. So if you go in the Google Chrome web store and you type in unhook, you can actually find an extension that you can download for free, and it basically makes it so the home page of your YouTube is just all blocked out. So it removes a lot of that feature where the YouTube is trying to addict you by showing you every single video and putting you in this whole scroll cycle, and you can block out YouTube shorts and all that stuff. And you can do this on other apps too. So if you go to like LinkedIn feed blocker, it does the same thing where it basically removes the thing that is most addictive in social media, which is the algorithm. So in general, like you want to download things that really stops with that algorithm kind of tactic where it is created for you to keep scrolling, created for you to keep your eyes on the screen. And you want to at least try to use it much more intentionally, inshallah. And there's even extensions made by Muslims like this one where it just blocks anything that's unwanted that shows up on your screen. And the cool thing is, these are all free, right? So you can just go on a rampage and download a ton of these. That's what I've done as well, as you can see. And make it so like your laptop or whatever, your phone, is way less addicting, and you can like kind of save your time and substitute that time, inshallah, with memorizing. And I would invite you to also implement some of these same tactics, because let's just say you save an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours a day. Over the course of your lifetime, that is literally years. And imagine if you dedicated that time, you replace that time, you substitute that time with memorizing. That would like lead to so much progress. It's insane. You also have to realize that technology, all the internet and stuff, is getting more and more addictive each year, and it's for a lot of times it's bringing no benefit whatsoever. And inshallah, I'm going to keep trying to play around with this stuff, and if you're interested in following along, inshallah, you can join the newsletter, and anytime I find some new tactic or something, I'll just release it on there, and inshallah, it'll be a benefit. Anyway, assalamu alaikum.